Overrated? Never. Underrated? Absolutely. Here is Michael Waltrip's 2003 NAPA Patriotic Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Howdy folks, it is Diecastbuffet here again. Welcome back to another NASCAR Diecast review. Today's car is going to be an amazing classic diecast. It is Michael Waltrip's 2003 NAPA Auto Parts Patriotic Monte Carlo, and oh my goodness folks, this thing is a beauty. This is back in the early 2000s when Michael Waltrip was one of, if not the best driver at the restrictor plate tracks. You gotta be honest here, I mean, if Waltrip wasn't winning at Daytona or Talladega, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the early 2000s, and I tell you what, man, Michael Waltrip, a lot of people say Waltrip is one of the most overrated drivers. Hey, Kyle Petty might have had a very, very poor career at the end of his career, but guess what? The dude won like 8 races, okay? And he won a Coke 600 too, so you can't give Kyle Petty too much grief. Michael Waltrip's a 2-time Daytona 500 champion. He also won the 02 Pepsi 400, and he ran this car in the 03 Pepsi 400. Of course, he was defending his race win from the past July. And, of course, you know, Greg Biffle won that 03 Daytona race in July. And, of course, Michael Waltrip went back later in 03 and won at Talladega. But I tell you what, man, Michael Waltrip does not get nowhere near enough credit. He has had one of the longest NASCAR careers in history. I mean, you gotta think about it. This dude was racing in the 80s, and he was still racing in the 2010s, okay? When he got the call to DEI, man, I tell you, this dude was at the last portion of his career. You could tell he was up there in age. So for him to go out there and still compete at a high level and be able to go out there and still win when he got the opportunity from Dale Earnhardt himself, I think people overlooked that. You know, if he was driving the 15 car when he was 23, I tell you what, Michael Waltrip would have at least 15 wins. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and get this diecast out of the box. Here she is, folks, brand new out of the package, Michael Waltrip's 2003 Patriotic NAPA Auto Parts Chevrolet Monte Carlo for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. And just, my goodness, man, the best era in NASCAR history, the early 2000s Gen 4 era. Oh my god, man, this thing is a relic of the best times ever in stock car racing, man. I mean, this thing is just a beautiful looking paint scheme. Incorporated the Dale Earnhardt E they ran on the side of the car, and they incorporate that into like a patriotic American flag. That just looks freaking awesome, man. It's like a two-tone dip, you know, number 15 car, and in the stars, they just wrap all the way around the front. I mean, unbelievably beautiful race car. I mean, my god. So over here to the nose of the car, you got, you know, it's just a metallic, beautiful NAPA Auto Parts blue. And it's a shame that Chase Elliott can't run any of these old NAPA paint schemes because, you know, Teresa Earnhardt would have a cow. But I mean, just look at that NAPA Auto Parts on the hood, just simple metallic blue. You got the white bow tie. I love that. I love that so much. Very, very sharp. And you look at the front of the car. I mean, there is nothing like watching an early 2000s restrictor plate race and just hearing the hum of these cars. I mean, these things, they sounded like, I mean, it was just beautiful. It's the best sounding race car. I don't care who you are. Best sounding race car ever is an early 2000s restrictor plate engine. I'm sorry. Best sound ever. When they get in that pack and they're on the onboards and they're going through the corner and this thing's just bobbling like that, and you just see all the dirt and grime on the front nose of the Monte Carlo, I mean, there is nothing more nostalgic to me than pretty much that. So you got Monte Carlo, and just look at the sheer quality, folks. I mean, just beautiful. They got the stars that just wrap all the way across the front valence, and just beautiful. You got Moog, Clevites, back when contingencies were a thing. Comp, Edelbrock, JE, Union 76, Wix air filters. Just, oh my god, man, beautiful. You got the number 15 there. I mean, just white trim line in the front. Just gorgeous looking nose here. I mean, my lord. You want to talk about a diecast that has very good quality? Well, guess what? This is one, no doubt. You got Michael Waltrip. I mean, just look at the fine detail on a diecast that was made in 2003. That's incredible. I mean, insert Kyle Petty. That's incredible. You got, I don't know what sponsor that is. You got Champion, got Coca-Cola, you got NAPA Auto Parts, NASCAR Race Car, NASCAR Cup Series, and the Bud Pole, sponsor. Both of those, of course, censored. But you could say, though, that this sponsor, the NASCAR Cup Series logo, is now accurate because the NASCAR Cup Series is actually a thing. There's no more official title sponsor, so take that for what you will. McDonald's Powerade, you got Mechanics Wear, Auto Meter, Jessel, EA Sports. Of course, you got Goodyear, and Goodyear there again. Number 15, Napa Auto Parts. Nothing over here in the corner panel. I just look at that shine, man. Oh my Jesus. Beautiful. Gen 4 era stock car. Nothing better than it. Napa Auto Parts. Beautiful number 15. I mean, we got Oreo. We got, was that Cincinnati? And then what is that? Martin something paints. And over here to the back of the car, you got the famous Gen 4, what I like to call the ducktail. You got your ducktail, the actual tail here, and you got the rump down here. You got those vintage Monte Carlo taillights. If you've never seen the taillights on an 02 or 03 Monte Carlo, I absolutely recommend you take a gander at it, because you might think, oh, this is just a generic template. No, I kid you not. The Monte Carlos had these vintage looking taillights, and it's absolutely really cool. It's, that back then, they made their production cars as close as they could to the NASCAR stock car, because they wanted to compete, they wanted to win races, because it was, such a popular thing. If you seen a Chevrolet win on track or a Ford, you wanted to go get yourself a Chevrolet or a Ford. Nowadays, they just don't have that same connection with the fan base. You got Napa Auto Parts, NAPAonline.com. You got the red bow tie there, very nice. And over here to the right side of the car, I mean, just once again, folks, just unbelievably beautiful diecast, awesome looking paint scheme, man. I mean, just look at that shine there, man. Wow. Then over here to the roof of the diecast, and you can just see how the decal, how it kind of just like has a wave effect. That's because of the roof flaps, but you can just see how sharp and crisp the decal quality is, how it's able to flex and bend over the roof flaps there, and it's not tearing, it's not crinkled. I mean, that is high quality decal stuff, because when a decal goes over something like that, it crinkles, it'll crack and whatnot. No, very, very high quality decal print right there. Of course, no name banners or none of that hogwash. And then over here on the deck lid, you have the Dale Earnhardt Foundation. Once again, just, God, man, look at that blue as it shines in the studio lights, man. That is just fantastic. Alrighty, folks, that is it for today's video. Michael Waltrip's 2003 Pepsi 400 paint scheme, patriotic Napa Auto Parts car, whatever you want to call it. Greg Biffle won the race. Michael Waltrip won that race in 02. He was going to defend his 02 win and win it back-to-back in 03. He couldn't do so, but hey, he did win the Daytona 500 and, of course, the EA Sports 500. And I honestly think they should have given Michael Waltrip a NASCAR video game cover. I think with him winning his second 500, I think it would have been really cool to see him on the cover of NASCAR Chase of the Cup. But then again, you have to add in the fact that Michael Waltrip was never a championship contender, so people say he's overrated. I disagree. I just think that he got started with the great team very late in his career. Like I said, if he was in his mid-20s when he got with DEI and got signed on and all that stuff, I think he would have won at least 15 races. I really do. I think he would have probably won a whole bunch of Talladega races, because Dale Jr. was fantastic there. Once Michael Waltrip left, everything went downhill, because that's when, Junior and had the family issues with Teresa Earnhardt and all that jazz. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss any of my new content, guys. Appreciate all those who tune in. Follow me on Instagram at Diecastbuffet. I'll have a link to that in the description below. Hope you're having a great one. Diecastbuffet, signing off.